Look at these freaks. They look sickening, unkempt, and homeless. They actually went and got six homeless people and an actual little person to play the seven dwarfs. I mean, this guy is wearing a disgusting hoodie in Snow White, for Christ's sake. They look like a bunch of heroin addicts that live under a bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, Disney is making another remake. Surprise! And as always, they are screwing up the story, and people are very angry about it. Everyone is talking about Snow White being Colombian and not white. I don't care. She looks white to me. It's close enough. And I'm sure Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh think otherwise. They are not happy about it. But if I saw her walking down the street, I'd say she's white. Anyway, that's not the point. My main concern is the seven dwarfs. Now, if you were a properly functioning human being that did not suffer from a crippling mental illness, and by illness I mean to the point where there is almost no brain activity happening, if you didn't suffer from that, you would think that this would be the perfect role for someone who has dwarfism, or a little person, if you will. Now, I'm going to try my utmost best not to use the M word because it has recently come to my attention that it's a very problematic description for a little person. I do not know why, but I will oblige. From the New York Post, Disney's live-action Snow White under fire for replacing seven dwarves with magical creatures of all sizes and genders. That is, I think, the most shit I've heard all week, and I've just come from a drag queen story hour 2 hours ago. I'm kidding, by the way, this is a joke. The film, which is slated for release next year with Hispanic actress Rachel, made waves this week after Snow White standing was seen wandering around Bedfordshire, England, followed by a gaggle of brightly coloured friends of various genders, races, and sizes, modernizing the 1937 film. Look at these freaks. They look sickening, unkempt, and homeless. They actually went and got six homeless people and an actual little person to play the seven dwarfs. The characters in these movies are supposed to look whimsical and they're for kids. Most people seem to forget that. I mean, this guy is wearing a disgusting hoodie in Snow White, for Christ's sake. They look like a bunch of heroin addicts that live under a bridge. And you're not going to believe whose fault this is. Game of Thrones actor Peter Dinklage, who has dwarfism, criticized the film earlier on for its portrayal of the disability. Literally, no offense to anyone, but I was a little taken aback when they were very proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White and the seven dwarfs. You're progressive in one way, but then you're still making that fucking backward story about seven dwarves living in a cave together. Peter Dinklage in one movie plays a big guy in Avengers Infinity War, and all of a sudden he says, fuck all the dwarfs. He's basically saying to them, I'm better than you, and I'm the only little person that can be rich and famous and live in $1 trillion mansion. I'm sorry, am I missing something? Because is he offended because they said that they live in a cave? If so, just tweak the story a little bit and say they live in a cabin. Because on a serious note, at least 7 little people lost this opportunity because of virtue-signaling idiots. By the way, I also just found out that Hugh Grant is playing an Oompa Loompa. That's another job a little person just lost in the new Charlie and Chocolate Factory movie. These are easy movies to make if you don't fuck it up. It's an open goal. Why do they always feel obligated to fuck it up? This is, by the way, why people don't care about the writer's strike in Hollywood. This is why when these people go, you guys need to support us to save the industry, else we'll have no jobs and lose everything. And everyone laughs at them and says, we don't care because you're making content we don't care about. But yeah, I don't know. Wait a minute, I just realized there's no fat person cast in this as one of the dwarfs. Also, there's no trans little person. Man, imagine being a trans little person in real life. I mean, you would get a gold medal in the Oppression Olympics.